Accessorizing is all part of the fun of putting together an outfit, and today I wanted to focus on jewelry tips that I think everyone should know. I have 8 jewelry tips here which I'm going to run through that I think are really helpful, especially if you're just at the start of your journey beginning to build out your jewelry capsule collection. I've partnered with one of my favorite jewelry brands, Linjer, on today's video, so all the beautiful jewelry pieces that you see me wearing throughout this video are from the brand. Also, I want to highlight that Linjer currently have a sale on their solid gold collection. You can get 25% off using my code JAMIE25. I'll have that on screen as well as in the description box below, along with links to shop all the pieces that I feature. This sale is for a limited time only, so get in quick if you're planning to make a purchase. I want to just get started. Let's get into it. I'm going to share some more about Linjer as we get through the video. So my very first tip is about understanding the different types of gold jewelry. Now there are 4 types of gold jewelry that you can buy. So first type is gold plated. This is the most inexpensive and it is the one that is most likely to cause you skin irritations, and additionally the plating won't last very long, often also known as flash plated jewelry. The second type is gold filled jewelry. Now this can be a bit more affordable as well. It typically uses a base metal like copper or brass. This is great for all skin types as it's hypoallergenic. However, once the gold plating does wear off, you are going to reveal the base metal underneath, which is likely prone to tarnishing. Next you have gold vermeil, which I think is probably the entry point for many people when they are starting to explore the world of fine jewelry. Now this is generally quite high quality, and I would urge you to pay close attention to how thick the gold plating is. Linjer uses gold plating on their gold vermeil pieces, which is more than 2.5 microns thick. So it not only meets, but it actually exceeds the standard for gold vermeil jewelry in the US. This is pretty resistant to tarnishing and it's really good for everyday wear. The final type is solid gold jewelry, and this is also the most expensive. I'm sure I don't need to explain why. This is going to be the hardiest, it is the best quality, and if you're someone who doesn't want to have to take their jewelry off, it is definitely the best type for you, as you can leave it in the shower. If you're wearing your gold plated, gold filled, or your gold vermeil pieces in the shower, they are more likely to get tarnished and wear really quickly, as opposed to solid gold, which are perfect for everyday wear. And this is definitely where I would say you want to invest, where you really are going to splurge and spend a little bit more. And I really just wanted to take the opportunity here to highlight some of the beautiful pieces from Linjer's solid gold collection. They actually have a really extensive range, and a lot of the styles that you can buy within their gold vermeil collection are also available in solid gold, in addition to being made with gemstones or their lab-grown diamond pieces. And what I like about Linjer's solid gold collection is I actually find the prices are very accessible. Because they sell directly to the consumers, they don't have the typical markups that you would expect to get when you are going to a regular jeweler. They use a 14 karat gold, which I personally love because I think it just has this really nice soft creamy color, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the color of jewelry later, but I will show you a side-by-side of how the rings that I've got from Linjer and the 14 karat gold look compared to my wedding bands, which are in an 18 karat gold, and you can kind of see they have this softer hue, which I personally think is very dreamy. What's really beautiful about the Linjer gold jewelry, and actually their sterling silver pieces as well, is that where possible they try to use recycled materials, so they are using recycled gold for a lot of these items, which is really great to see that sustainable initiative with the brand. And all the diamonds that they use are lab-grown diamonds, so these are conflict-free diamonds, and in every way, both physically and chemically, they are exactly the same as a mined diamond, but they are also more affordable too. If you're more of a budget but you want to get something that is good quality, I would recommend looking at gold vermeil. However, if you do want to invest and you want something that is going to last your entire lifetime, then I would suggest looking to spend a little bit more and adding a solid gold piece to your jewelry collection. My next tip is to pick jewelry pieces that are sentimental to you, because I guarantee you that this will make you want to reach for them on a daily basis. There's no point spending a whole lot of money on a beautiful piece of jewelry if it's just going to end up getting neglected and left at the back of your drawer. So I actually just added this beautiful Evelina ring from Linjer to my collection, and this has the Morganite stone in the center with the diamonds around the outside and then the 14 karat gold band. And what I really love about this and why it felt so special to me is that it actually looks a lot like my mum's old engagement band. So for those of you who don't know the story, my engagement ring that I have is actually reworked from my mum's old engagement ring. And as my mum's no longer with me, I'm always looking for little ways that I can kind of have a piece of her on me at all times, and this really felt like a beautiful reflection of that, but just modernized. I do have a couple of other pieces like this that also have that same sentimental value. I have a bracelet that my husband bought me when we were in Santorini, and again, this was sort of the last trip that we went on with my mum. I think we spent 2 weeks in Greece with her, and it was just such a magical trip. And while this was a really inexpensive piece, it just has a little gemstone in it, might even be a piece of glass. I really adore this, and it's something that I could never part with. It also brings back a lot of fond memories of that trip. And then I also have this lovely bangle, which is again something that I was given for my 21st birthday. My mum had the same one. I've now got hers too, so hopefully I can pass one of those on to my daughter. This again is a solid gold piece, and it just is really special, and it has a lot of memories attached to it. So I think when you have items like that in your jewelry collection, they are going to be things that make you feel really excited to wear them because they do have that really special sentimental touch. My next tip is to understand whether gold or silver jewelry works better for you. And there are some little tips and tricks around the internet on how you can get a sense, but essentially if you have a cooler tone complexion, then silver jewelry is likely to be better for you, whereas if you have a warmer complexion, then you'll find that gold works better. Now, I have an olive complexion, which can be a little bit tricky when you're trying to understand your undertone, and also there's overtone as well, as the quality and the color of my skin changes drastically when I've seen some sun. In the winter, I have very cool, fair skin, but in the summertime, I tan quite easily because of my Greek heritage. And this is one of the reasons why I really like Linjer's 14 karat gold pieces, because it does have that creamier color. I find that it does work well with my complexion, both in the cooler and the warmer months. And this is something that will be true regardless of your skin tone, at least in my personal opinion. And so I think that's a great way to sort of invest. Another point is also, if you are someone who has cooler skin, then you may like to invest in white gold jewelry because it does kind of have that same sort of cool undertone to it as sterling silver does. I'll link some resources in the description to help you determine which undertone you have in case you're not sure. My next tip is around where to start, and for me it really is to focus on the basics, especially if you're just starting to invest in jewelry. You've maybe had a lot of costume jewelry, or you've been buying more gold plated pieces. You want to level up and start buying either gold vermeil or the solid gold pieces. What you want to do is start with the items that you know you're going to wear all the time. For me, it's something as simple as a stud, and I actually am wearing the Linjer studs here, which are in the sterling silver. They also come in the 14 karat gold with the lab grown diamond, and these are a really good investment piece that won't break the bank. And other pieces that I think are really good to start with are very simple bands, maybe with some dainty diamonds. I especially really love the Miriam diamond Pave ring, which is very kind of simple, understated, subdued, and it's a really good stacking piece as well. In addition to that, I think Huggies or some sort of minimal hoop is another great place to start, as well as a dainty necklace. And this kind of brings me on to my next tip, which is around finding your jewelry style. And I would recommend, if you aren't sure, to start with gold vermeil because it is more of an entry-level price point, so that you can figure out the types of pieces you like and then you can spend on them later down the track. This is a really good method that I actually use even for styling when it comes to adding in new silhouettes into my wardrobe, and it's one that I often recommend with my personal styling clients as well. This way you're still focusing on quality pieces, but if it ends up being an item that doesn't necessarily work for you, you haven't gone and splurged a great deal on learning that lesson. My next tip is to invest in items that will pair well together. And this is one of the reasons why I really like dainty jewelry, because you can stack your rings together and it doesn't look too over the top. It actually looks really quite subtle, looks very elegant and refined. So one of the things I quite often like to do is to stack my two Linjer 14 karat gold rings here, the Miriam diamond ring, and then also the Ilse ring Luxe, which is the upgraded version of the Ilse ring with the white topaz. This one has the lab grown diamonds and it's also in the 14 karat gold. I just think they add this brilliant little pop of sparkle. When it comes to necklaces, thinking about the length of the chain and also how low down your chest it is going to sit. Depending on your proportions, you may find that shorter chains and choker length chains work better for you than something that has a longer chain drop. You'll find that many necklaces tend to come in 16 or 18 inch lengths. Or if you do have a shorter chest, you'll probably find yourself favoring the 16 inch length over the 18 inch. And it's really good to understand these things about yourself. Of course, everybody is different and your personal preferences are going going to vary. So kind of getting the measuring tape out so that you can really understand which widths as well. For example, you can see I've got the 14 karat gold Baguette Huggy earrings. This is the Reyna style. And you can see here how they compare next to my Jorunn Hoops. These are in the gold vermeil, and actually this is a really good example of the different color variation between gold vermeil and the 14 karat solid gold. What I love about layering jewelry is that you can really play with these different proportions, and it's a great way to also express your personal style. Which kind of leads me into my next point about how to find your size. Rings in particular are probably the trickiest one, and a really great way to understand your ring size is to actually get a ring sizer. You can get one off Amazon. I'll put a link to where you can do that below. Alternatively, another great way to do this is to actually just grab your measuring tape and measure the diameter of an existing ring for the finger that you want to purchase the new ring for. So this is what I will typically do whenever I'm adding a new ring to my collection, and I found this to be a really effective tool to make sure that I am not buying the wrong size. Again, you can also use this method to figure out the length of necklace that you desire and also the sizing of your wrist for any bracelets that you purchase too. My final tip is around looking after your jewelry, and this is really important if you want it to last a long time. And I would say number one, you want to make sure that when you are storing it away, that you're storing it in a cool, airtight space. A friend of mine is a jewelry designer, and she actually gave me some advice, and I will say it's not going to be the most aesthetic, but she said, especially for gold vermeil pieces, that the jewelers recommend storing them in a plastic container because that is going to keep all of the air out of it, any moisture away from it, because there are so many things that can affect things like gold vermeil and also your gold plated pieces as well. You also don't want to get your gold vermeil pieces wet, and I would say if you are wearing them for the day, add them as your final step after you've applied all of your makeup and also your jewelry, as these can affect the acidity levels of your skin and actually work to tarnish the pieces. One thing that you can do if your jewelry pieces have tarnished, whether they're gold vermeil or if they are silver, is that you can use either silver dip or polishing cloth to help restore their luster and shine. I've shown a little example here of the before and after of a Linjer ring that I've got in silver that has tarnished ever so slightly because I didn't store it away carefully, and you can see how it looks just like new after a little bit of maintenance and care. Another thing that you can do for your diamond pieces is actually purchase a cleaning pen. My friend sent me this one, and honestly the difference that it has made to my diamond pieces, it just makes them sparkle again like they are new and you've just bought them right out of the box. So those are the jewelry tips that I think everyone should know. I hope that you found this really helpful. If you've got any other tips and tricks, then please do share them down in the comments, as it's a really great way to help everybody else out in this community who wants to learn a little bit more about jewelry care, maintenance and tips. Thank you so much to Linjer for partnering with me on this video. You all know how much I love their jewelry. I just adore the minimal designs. They are utterly timeless, and I have really found that their pieces are high quality and long lasting. As mentioned, they do have that sale on right now, and I will have all the details on screen and down in the description box below if anything has caught your eye, or perhaps you want to have a little browse and invest in something different for your own jewelry collection. And don't forget that this is a limited time offer. The sale is going to be ending very soon. Thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. If you are new here and you want to subscribe, I would love to have you back. Please do hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next week with a brand new video. See you very soon. Bye.